Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and it is a new season. There's only 24 days left in this one and I am going to be shooting for Mythic with this, and so I am going to show a couple of decks off that are just really good, powerful ones, as well as all the fun ones that I'm doing. I'm doing 14 videos a week, and so I'm allowed to do a couple things that aren't super janky, right? And so let's go for one that's just really busted. So Kushina, I think was this guy's name, that I can't see the full name. Anyway, took this and got to #1 on Mythic with this deck, and it is a silly busted deck. It is really good. So basically what this deck is Mardu Aggro in a Yorion deck, which is such a funky way to, that's so weird, but it just throws all the best cards together in a 80 card pile rather than keeping it down to a smaller card, into 60 cards, where we get to then have all of the consistency is a little bit weird with an 80 card deck, but we basically have a lot of good stuff here. So we get to have the Luminarch Aspirants, the Season Hollow Blade, and Giant Killer in the normal mono white decks. We get Bone Crusher Giant, a Crowan War, and an Ox of Agonis from like the red mid-range red aggro type decks. A Showdown of the Kelds, which is really good, that just kind of mixes all together. Just exile top 4 cards in your library until the next turn. You get to draw those cards, which is so good whenever you cast the next spell your next turn, which you have a bunch of cheap spells, you have a bunch of bigger spells, then we can just keep casting spells, put counters onto creatures, like onto our Season Hollow Blade or whatever. We have Embercleave that we can go digging with that as well to kind of finish off games with everything. And then we have this whole like fill your graveyard synergy as well. So we have Mire Triton, Timberite Calls the Dead, and Egon, God of the Death, which I'm kind of intrigued that we don't have, he didn't put Crocs into this deck. I feel like this deck is wanting a couple copies of Croxa, but that's typically what I would do, and so maybe that's not the right idea, because you have Immersturm Praetor, which you also just fill your graveyard for that as well. You fill the graveyard maybe for some Lurrus stuff action as well, and also just for the Egon, God of Dead, where you can have the aggro side of just going in for 6, so maybe that's why you don't have Crocs, because you don't just exile in the graveyard anyway. But anyway, so this is a really interesting deck. Immersturm Praetor, actually pretty powerful. So anytime that it taps, you get to put counters onto it. So if something's going to die anyway, or if you get to sacrifice stuff in response, you get to steal their stuff with the Crowan War, sacrifice it. You get to tap anytime that it does tap, you put a counter onto this. And so if like they're going to be blocking stuff on the ground, and we're not going to be getting through it with anything else, we can just sacrifice something on their end step of ours, get it tapped down, get up to a 4/4. Swing an attack, get up to a 5/5, put Embercleave onto it, and that's a good way to get 12 points of damage in. And so this can just be a really quick way to finish off games. So actually big fan of this card. It is interesting not having like Goldspan Dragon in here as well. That just works so well with all that stuff too. But again, there's people that get to Mythic and I don't, and I'm going to trust them over me because I'm dumb and stuff. Ox of Agonis, of course, it's really good. It's been there for forever. It's card draw for us, refill, and so we basically have these two really good card draw spells, and then just a bunch of good stuff. Let's do it. Let's jump into the gameplay, see how this does for us. And I'm going to try ranking up as high as I can with this. I'm going to be shooting for Mythic basically as close as I can, doing tons of videos over the next few days. And so we'll see if I actually have the time to do it with videos, because I tend to play a little more janky stuff in most of my videos, and then I have to like pay for it and trying to rank up later. So I'm going to spend a day one of these times just ranking and not recording. Just we wait and see. All right, here we go. All right, up against Busted Sleeves, and we'll keep this. Do I want to get out Temple Giant Killer right away? I don't think so, not unless we have the Cleric to kind of do stuff with, which now we do. All right, in that case, I think we do get out Giant Killer right away, pass the turn. And we kind of have this like mono red or Boros aggro, mono white aggro. Dude, I cannot smoke right today. I'm sorry, guys. Foretells some shenanigans. All right, up against Giants, it would appear. Probably should have kept the Giant Killer around. All right, swing in. Down to 18, pass the turn. Season Hollow Blade can go ahead and discard these Ox of Agonis just fine. We need to fill our graveyard up to 8 cards with that. I don't play with this that often. Maybe I should. Maybe that's one of my issues. It's a really good card. Let's go ahead and get out Temple of Triumph. So I'm debating if I actually just want to get Giant Killer up over the 4 toughness, or yeah, so like get it up a little bit higher. Do I just want black mana over this? Bone Crusher Giant's nice. It is a giant that stays alive over some other giant shenanigans they've got going on. That's an interesting but it doesn't actually kill any giants. Not necessarily. I think we're looking for like Ember Cleaves and things, or like some more card draw. So go to combat. I think we just put this onto Giant Killer. I'm not sure if they're going to be playing like Bounce or anything else. Yeah, trying to get this over the 4 damage sweeper that they've got in Giants. Swing in. I don't think anything has flash unless this is the flash deck instead, and I just don't know about it. All right, Seasoned Hollowblade. Saw it coming. Maybe this is just control. That's totally possible. Totally possible. You can probably just play like a giant control deck. Like, you don't have to play that many giants to make it pretty decent. Yeah, maybe Is It Control's the way to go. Shadow Skull Smashing. Feels like they're going for the play on the next turn. So let's go ahead and just swing in. Down to 11. Showdown of the Scalds. Get some extra plays. Black Source. Finally a Black Source. Sweet. And the Mire Triton to play out with it. And opponent scoops up. Sweet. Yeah, having that much card draw is pretty awesome. Not too shabby at all. All right. Game 1. Done. And with this one, I typically do kind of like edit games to make sure I'm putting the best, most interesting stuff for you guys. With this one, I'm probably just going to keep it all here and kind of keep going with it, just because this is me ranking up or doing it. And so, yeah, I'll cut out the stuff in between, but otherwise we're playing through. Up against Retro J-Bug. Bone Crusher into Bone Crusher into a Crowan War. Some Scry for this definitely isn't an aggro hand. I guess we mulligan that. This is better. Keep this. Drop Oxivagonus. Sure. Yeah, that's what we're doing. You can tell I've played this deck before, right? I totally know how to play it. These are interesting hands that somehow just seem to work way better than I expect. Oh man, do we want a 4th land? We have a lot of expensive stuff, but Bone Crusher Giant's really, really good to kind of help fill out this whole curve. It is annoying to not hit another land there though, but still chances. Tormod's Crypt and Tybalt's Trickery. How bad does this get? Dude, there's so many combos in this format. All right, well, at least they got rid of quite a few Ugins there, so shouldn't have too many of those. They might just hit lands and a Chromatic Orrery. That's okay. They don't have an Ugin in hand, but this says let them play everything else. I like that in here, actually. Anything else they have in hand suddenly is playable. Yeah, okay. Nyxflume Ancient. Let's a Crowan War that. Luminarch Castrate. Dude, Tybalt's Trickery is such busted crap. I love it. That's actually a really good one, because Nyxflume Ancient, if they have any other colors like Triome, they can just kind of play Comas, they can play whatever they want. How much mana? So this is triple Chromatic Orrery mana, which is 15 mana to do whatever they will with. Oh my gosh. I can't remember which one this is. You choose one of those cards, and then they get to play the other cards. So I guess I don't want them to have Kiribati Sea God. We can try to stay alive to get to a Crowan War and still the Nyxflume Ancient and have enough mana to do enough shenanigans. No, okay, we're done. All right, I'm done here. I don't want you guys to have to deal with seeing more of that. Those are just matches that we will not win, right? So, dude, Tybalt's Trickery is good. It's good. Up against God of Thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Sorry. Not sorry. All right, so if I Triome, pass the turn. We get the Triton going. We get some other good shenanigans stuff going on here. Do we want to go for Luminarch Aspirant or the Triton? Because I probably want to go for Timuric Calls the Dead. We can get to Oxivagonus pretty quickly. I think we go for the aggro play a little bit more. Counter here. Pass the turn. Although up against red, I guess they have a higher chance of just having like Bone Crusher Giant, which Mire Triton deals with a little bit better. But if it's bigger stuff, this can get above their stuff if they don't have Bone Crusher Giant. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Cool. Now I think it's just Mire Triton over Timber Calls the Dead. So we get out the temple. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it doesn't matter on top. Should have done this first and then scryed. Oh well. Dang it, man. I'm so bad at Magic sometimes, I swear. At least I know what I'm doing wrong, right? That's something. Plays out of land. We get hit for 3 down to 19. We get to Bone Crushy and Giant Killer. Yeah. Stomp. Hit. Stomping on our turn, because if they do have a Fable Passage, they can activate the Fable Passage in response to us stomping with a Bone Crusher Giant. And so it's just 5 points of damage I'd rather not take. Rush Fire Elemental. Do they have it anyway? It's possible. Scorching Dragonfire. Cool. Down to 16. We hit land. But I want to just Ox of Agonis and get rid of the Timber Calls the Dead. That's a good way for us to actually fill the graveyard, but this gets us a 4-2 out in the battlefield. Bone Crusher Giant, and we get to draw more cards. I think this is an Ox of Agonis turn, right? I haven't played with Ox of Agonis enough to really know when and where to do that. But that seemed legit. Now we have a Showdown of the Scalds. Heck yeah. Yeah, that seems right. Forest. Terror of the Peaks. That's annoying. We definitely wouldn't mind some removals. All right, kill that. Swing in. Yeah, Terror of the Peaks really hurts us. We know that they have Bone Crusher Giant just like lying in wait there. Showdown of the Scalds. Shadow Smashing does kill it on the next turn. We have until the next turn to play it. Anything else that we can actually play this turn? No, right? So we just play out a Triumph from over here. Pass the turn. All right, so we have an answer for Terror of the Peaks. They get to hit for a bunch here. So the question is, how much do you get to put on the battlefield? Bone Crusher Giant. 4 to face. Ouch. Down to 12. What other big shenanigans have you got? Scorching Dragonfire. Now they actually get to attack in with Bone Crusher Giant, unless we shock ourselves there, which we probably will. Actually, can we get to the 6 mana? Not quite. All right, so target creature we control. All right, good. All right, let's go out on red. We have how much mana? Yeah, we're 1 shy being able to kill them both here, huh? Well, can't not kill this, so let's do that. Can we play anything else out? No, they have too many top decks that just straight up kill us. With Bone Crusher Giant, we at least have a shot. All right, so 8 cards in exile. Okay, so those go away. We get to play out Praetor and Bone Crusher Giant. Oh, it was game. Oh, I forgot about I totally forgot about Terror of the Peaks extra ability. It has so much text on it otherwise. I totally forgot the other side of it, that whenever you target it, you take 3 life anyway. So yeah, that was just, it was checkmate. There's no way we can get out of that without finding some better removal. That's fine. Abigail's Session. Bring it on. Keep this. Yes. All right, Seishin. So, all right, is it Tybalt's Trickery deck and they just mulligan too many times? Well, we get a win. I'm showing it. We got to win. Why not? We're up against Unoriginal. I'm not sure how I feel about that. The turn 3 Timmerick Calls the Dead is all that we've got. Into potential Showdown of the Scalds, which is nice. We have kind of like our control-y matchup. But being on the play, this would be a lot better than if we just have this. I think we mulligan, try to find the more... Yeah, we'll keep this. Keep this, drop the Praetor. Have Luris and Season Hollowblades. I guess. I don't know. It's such a different hand than what the first one was. Like, this deck is so weird. I love it, but it is really weird. Definitely should have played out Temple first, I guess. I actually not, because now we get the red source right away. We have a bunch of 2-drops that we can play. Temple on turn 3. Agonizing Remorse. Well, let's see what they take first. Probably Luris. Or Bonecrusher Giant if they're playing creatures. If they're not playing creatures that this can actually kill, then they take a Luris, I think, just because the redundancy over here is annoying. All right, so most likely has some creatures they're protecting. Or has enough removal they don't care about Luris. We still grab Red Source. All right, well, let's just go double Season Hollowblade, find a red source for the Embercleave, and then win with that. Makes us discard. That's annoying. Do we discard another Season Hollowblade? It is our play for next turn. And they just make us discard more stuff here with this anyway. All right, discard Season Hollowblade. I think we actually hold off now. Hold off for Embercleave. Temple of Silence. Find a red source. We can swing in and get rid of Timmerick's Calls to Dead and get rid of this. That way we can actually start attacking in. Otherwise, we just have to keep waiting for Embercleave. I guess we pass the turn. I don't want to give him any advantage necessarily here. Timmerick Calls to Dead is still a good play. That actually lets us start swinging in for damage. And if they have more discard here, which it seems like they might. Wrinkle. Yep, more discard. Yep. Okay. Sounds good. Down to 17. Sacrifice a creature. Yeah, all right. That means they can play another creature out. We're going to try to go for the Luris play, but it's not looking like it's going to be very good for us. Egon. God of Death. If they don't have a way to exile that right away, it could be pretty nice for us. We'll try out the Egon. That is put on some pressure. If they keep forcing us to discard, we at least have something there. If we'd hit a land to go with the Embercleave as well. The issue here is that every time we have to discard stuff, we're further away from this. So I think we actually just discard the Embercleave. All right, forces us to sacrifice there. Plays out another Wrinkle. Didn't force us to discard. Turgid's Lantern. Now we get a force to discard. Okay, lose 3 life. Luris. Now we can lose 3 life all day long as we don't die to removal. Okay, lose 3 life. We'll discard on the next one and just get rid of the Embercleave. All right, what can they have? Heartless Act, okay. That's annoying. Man, even without the discard, we just haven't hit a land, right? Like we've been stuck on 3 lands this whole time, and that's not their fault. All right, discard a card. I guess Embercleave now. Untaps. We will totally discard Yorion as well. Doesn't do anything for us. Gotta get to the Showdown of the Scalds though, right? Yeah, we just haven't hit a land. That's game over. We can play this out a little bit longer, but like we're not putting any real pressure on them with stuff that we have there. If we were on the play and could have gotten more stuff out initially, we had a shot. But as it was there, like we needed a Crone War to steal their Rankle. We needed like a million things that are in the deck. We just didn't have them. All right, up against light blue and Season Hellblade for turn 2. Yeah, I feel like all the tap lands are really making this deck interesting. I understand with Yorion, like that's probably the biggest issue with playing a Yorion deck is that then like just having pathways in a 3-color deck, in 60-card deck actually gives you a lot of consistency. But when you also have to start playing everything tapped otherwise, it starts feeling really funky. Let's go ahead and just Giant Killer actually works really well with that. All right, Temple of Silence, or the Triumph, Temple of Silence. Triumph number 2 to the bottom. Pass the turn. Yeah, Season Hollowblade into Giant Killer, kill the Lovestruck Beast, into hope we find something good because we're in trouble right now. Robber of the Rich steals our stuff. Another land off the top. I'm fine. Dude, stop having lands on the top deck. Why are you doing this to me? Or at least we have an answer for Robber of the Rich now. Pass the turn. I might want to just play out this Ox of Agonis from hand. We have red sources, yeah. Yeah, okay. Keep it alive. Get stomped. They get a swing in. Still something else off the top. Something. Yeah, they can steal a lot of really good things from us. Like Showdown of the Scalds in this deck is terrifying. In fact, I'm not sure if they're going Naya. Are they Naya? They are Naya. Probably to play that as well. So cool. Crap. Let's hold up Giant Killer here. Or do I play out the Savai Triome now? Let's go red source here. Oh, do I want to keep discarding? Stop them from doing anything. All right, no attacks. Pass the turn. We don't have to play Ox of Agonis on turn 5. I'm also fine discarding that, getting rid of it. We mostly want a Crone War to steal something here as well. Forging of the Tyrate Sword. Creates a treasure token. We could cycle now. Stealing Rob the Rich isn't the worst idea either. Enforce some... What's our best play now? Is it just holding up Giant Killer again? Will they keep getting better stuff? Probably. Timber Calls the Dead's not the worst. All right, let's go for it. Holding up Giant Killer would be nice here as well. We're not necessarily pressed. Okay, we can still trade off with Rob the Rich now, so let's go ahead and swing. Nope, no attacks. Pass the turn. The Crone War is nice just to, if they have anything tapped, we start killing it too. But let's steal something big instead. Okay, Rob the Rich. Probably just playing out Showdown of the Scalds. Figure that's a good enough trade-off with this. We'll trade here. I don't want to discard anything in hand. I want to get the 5 mana. Yep. Stole something pretty good there, sir. Double the power of target creature until end of turn. Oh, gosh. What deck did we just run into? Oh, this probably works really well with Goldspan Dragon. They can swing in, create a bunch of mana immediately. If they have it, then it's just like dead. What do we want to do? All right, let's go ahead and discard Oxyvagonus. We're filling the graveyard a little bit better now. Praetor is nice. Actually, I think we just want Giant Killer though, right? With all the craziness that they're doing here. Okay, get rid of Bonecrusher Giant. Yeah, I think it's probably just hold up Giant Killer, so they can't go off with anything this turn. Our life total is not really in a threat here. Yeah, I know attacks past the turn. The stupid 1/1. I don't want to discard anything with the Season Hellblade. Maybe I'm just playing this wrong, probably. I'm fine with that. Searches for equipment card. Embercleave, cool. I'm just gonna Embercleave onto the human here. That'd be pretty funny. We can steal it and have the Embercleave as well. Gets a treasure. How much more do you play out here? Losing all these cards. Love Shuck Beast. Okay, passes my turn. You know, let's go ahead and just go for a Crone War here. I think I'm actually wanting a land. Yeah, they lost a lot of their big stuff. Embercleave is going to be annoying, but it's more annoying if they have something else here to play. All right, so still the human. Yeah, we just need to force something to happen here. This ends up dying, so maybe I shouldn't be too greedy with the Season Hollowblade. Get rid of... Man, maybe this was just a wrong play. Dude, I'm so bad with this deck. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's such a funky deck. Like, it's obviously good. I think I'm going to be exiling more stuff with Oxyvagonus here soon anyway. So I'm going to... doesn't make a lot of sense, especially because we didn't hit that many creatures. Like, Egon doesn't survive more than one turn with our deck. So let's just pass the turn. Create some more treasures. If you have a Goldspan Dragon, you can do some pretty cool stuff. You need land, Goldspan Dragon, then you have and then you have Embercleave onto it. Giant Killer. Cool. Bonecrusher Giant. Cool. Okay, pass to my turn. Yeah, Lumeric Aspirant. Chop down Bonecrushy Boy. Swing in here. We might just be fine with Season Hellblade dying as well there. Yeah, so down to 9. Pass the turn. They have Embercleave. It's a good thing to remember. They have Shadow Spear. Also a good thing to remember. I don't think they have enough mana to play all 3 out. That's 3 mana plus 5. They're probably just going to go for Shadow Spear here. Giant Killer itself might not be a bad thing to be playing. All right, they're going for Embercleave, which means they're dead. Yeah, no blocks. Oh, they have to attack in, right? So they go for the Embercleave play. It kills itself on our upkeep. That's fine. We're taking a bunch. Do they? Oh, they have the ability to double its power. Right. Right. Was there anything we could have done about that? Not really. We had already seen them get 2 of those out of the deck, and so we're just hoping they didn't have another one. They had it. Dude, I can't play good decks. I win more with bad decks than I do with good decks usually. This just plays way different than I'm used to. Sorry for completely embarrassing myself. We're gonna go one more time, I think, with this. Try to get some more wins. Already got 6 games up there, though. Alright, against Waterfish. Keep this. Alright, try tap, pass the turn. This is a good hand. I don't know how this deck gets up to Mythic Tier 1. It's so funky. Alright, pass the turn, we stomp. Like, I feel like it's gotta hit just like the perfect hands every time. We could wait to see, you know, we're fine taking 1. See if they go for Rimrock Knight. Alright, take it down to 18. Plays out Rimrock Knight, and we will kill that now instead. Let's see, what do we want? More red or white mana? Doesn't really matter now. Alright, Bone Crusher, pass turn. See if they swing. Showdown of the Scalds into Embercleave seems legit. We just have to find 1 untapped land and keep this alive, and then life is great. That's an untapped land. Alright, Showdown of the Scalds. No attacks past the turn. Torbrand. That's annoying. Let's see, we can accrue and warn still their Torbrand. Right now we're taking a lot and a half. I just need to kill something. I can kill Fireblade Charger, which ends up dealing damage to us anyway. All right, no blocks. Down to 10, down to 7. All right, yeah, we just take a Crow and War then, I guess. Okay. Maybe I should have gone for Giant Killer first. I just realized that would be a pretty nice thing to put counters onto. Just as a good blocker here. All right, down to 12. Do you have another Torbrand? If you do, we're probably dead. Not necessarily, though. Dude, Showdown of the Skull, it's so good. So good. All right, it has an Embercleave. Do we just stop the most damage? Yeah. Stop the most damage. Doesn't have the Embercleave, or at least doesn't play it. We get to keep the Torbrand alive. Maybe they're trying to. They're hoping they can just get to it. Storm's Wrath kills the Bone Crusher Giant. All right, nice play. Interesting. All right. Let's go. What do we want counters onto? I guess the Aspirant. All right, so Aspirant, Triton, Triome. Count on to try just because we can block more one powered things. Scorching Dragonfire, cool. Death Touch and Embercleave is pretty good stuff, I've heard. Are we dead if they have the right stuff, though? They have an Embercleave. Do they have enough lands? I don't think so. All right, we're going for it. We have the lethal for next turn now. I should have not played the Triome to be able to have some sort of card draw or something. We just ran into way too many lands at the end here, but with only 4 lands, I don't think they have any way of coming back there. They would have to be Slaying Fire is the only card that I don't think that red decks even play that often. Like Slaying Fire is the only card with 4 lands. You can pump the Kargan Intimidator and then go for that. So yeah, all right, up against Encrosan and keep this. I know I said I was done in the last one, but I gotta have something better than that, right? Maybe I just keep keeping the wrong hands. I keep thinking this is good. Like we have 1/2 drops. These are the kind of things we want to be doing, right? Season Hellblade into a Crone War is pretty nice. Holding up Giant Killer depending on what we're playing against. Seems like the kind of thing we want to be doing. All right. We want more red and white in general, so play that out, pass the turn. Hold this up to see if we ever need another black source. I don't think we really do for anything. There's nothing with double black, right? I think it's just the Praetor and Egon. Lotus Cobra. Okay, pass to my turn. Are they going to be playing out something really big I want to be holding up Giant Killer for? I don't think so. We're going to do it anyway. Alright, pass the turn. Yeah, hold up Giant Killer to kill something, hopefully, and then Praetor. Landfall. Okay, pass my turn. Another one. Interesting. Play Praetor out. Man, maybe I should have just gone for the Crone War, actually. Having our own ramp would have been pretty sweet. And we can sacrifice it. We can do that afterwards, though. So swing in with Season Hellblade. I'd rather get this out. A Crone War, something big that they play. Down to 14, pass the turn. Their best play here for 5 mana is probably like Vivian. This could be like a Vorinclex deck. Just Teamer Ultimatum in general. Terror of the Peaks. That's a good thing to steal. I've decided I like that. Yes. Okay, pass to my turn. We don't have anything in the graveyard right now to actually use with this. We can kind of get something in the graveyard with Praetor or with Season Hollowblade. Let's see. Let's go ahead and scry what's on top to the bottom. So what I could do is I can get rid of the other Praetor after we attack in. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it at the same time though. All right, swing in. Want to scoops it up. All right, sweet. I just say, yeah, we had the ability to like discard this after declaring attacks, but this triggers as it taps, and so there's no target. I wasn't sure if it would still trigger. Like so right now we could discard this with Season Hollowblade, turn this into a 4/4, but then we have something less. I guess this is already indestructible then. So yeah, that's a pretty good way to play it out. All right, up against Nerd Rage, and we'll keep this. so first time actually having Egon in the first hand. We're going to go ahead and just throw out the Throne of the Death, which is an awesome card, by the way. Keeps filling over stuff. We get to exile creatures and just draw cards. I like it. Season Hollow Blade into Tapland into Showdown of the Scalds. I guess we're hoping for another 2-drop. I'm gonna say there was our 2-drop. Season Hollow Blade now or Mire Triton? They're gonna be playing something big. A little bit tempting to go for either one here. Let's go Mire Triton. If it's like a Yorvo, this is way better against the mono green decks. With Snow, I'm not sure if it's mono green. It might just be like a Sultai Snow deck, and that just happens to be ramping up here. Trail of Crumbs. All right, so mono green with probably the ability to draw cards with that one card. You know the card. That one card, you guys know. Okay, sweet. Okay, swing with Mire Triton. Down to 18. Season Hollow Blade. Pass the turn. Not a whole lot of creatures in the graveyard. I definitely feel like the more I'm getting used to that playing this deck out, the better it feels. I really need to get used to playing it, as well as I'm still trying to figure out what meta is, because it's shifting so much right now that it's really hard to know what to play against. And that's part of the reason I typically was an okay Magic player, was just because I knew what else was happening in the format. All right, passing my turn. I go an Embercleave to the bottom. All right, well, regardless, we are going to be casting Showdown of the Scalds. Let's go ahead and swing in with Mire Triton first. I don't think we just stay defensive. It has Trample. We're trying to play a little bit aggressively. With Showdown, we get to put counters onto stuff on the next turn and race pretty effectively as well. Unless they're blocking with Goose, which means they're not ramping with it. All right. Not bad. We actually get to redraw our hand, which is nice. Which means there's a higher chance that we're just going to discard this. We might just go for the Ox of Agonis over their Praetor. At the same time, though, having a flyer might be nice here. Swings in. Do I want to soak up 1 point of damage here? No blocks. We'll still see if we have something good in hand. We haven't considered how much stuff comes from the draw. Mammoth. Okay. That's my turn. Another card. Bone Crusher. Dude, a lot of things we keep wanting. And then we keep finding our lands instead. Maybe I don't like this card. All right, well, let's... I guess we attack in first. Wait, we need a red source. Okay, red. Yeah, we don't get to put a counter onto it before we attack. Not without being able to discard. Yeah, so let's go ahead and swing in now. All right, takes it. Cool. Down to 11, Ox of Agonis. Draw a new hand. Counter onto Triton. No, I think Season Hollow Blade definitely helps us out a lot more. And I think we're just hoping to find an Embercleave or something. Giant Killer's not bad. Pass the turn. Ox of Agonis probably just going to be a blocker for us. Let's see, we have 10 points of damage. We play any card out and they're dead. So, and they found a Great Henge. Crap. Oh no! All right, well we almost had lethal. Great henge. All right, so potentially up to 13. Taps 2 creatures down. They can ramp a little bit more if we block with Oxyvagonus. We're taking 9 here. Half of our life total. They still have Goose to block with. Yeah, we just gotta kill stuff. So kill this. We can always play it back from the graveyard, right? Yeah, we kill it. We still take 7. Oh, they didn't keep up a land there. Florhedron. Yeah, we really need trample. Give us something good. Egon, God of Death. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. And let's us hold up Giant Killer really well. All right, so Egon. Let's put it onto Hollow Blade. Get past the chump blocker here. Okay, Hollow Blade, swing in. We still have to find an Embercleave to be able to race the Great Henge at all. But Egon is pretty nice to be a good blocker here. Alright, starts jumping. Yeah, and then yeah, we just have to hope. So pass the turn. We can also just draw a card with the Throne of the Death. How many cards in the graveyard? We only have 3 creatures right now. All right. All right, Mammoth gets Biglier. Feasting Troll King. Create some food tokens. It's a big boy. Wicked Wolf. They're gonna go for the Egon, God of Death. Okay. Can't target it yet. Kogla. Yeah, I still think we can beat the Great Henge here. At least not with getting Embercleave last turn, you know. Or ways to get rid of Great Henge. I don't think we have anything. All right, they fight. Yeah, we just take it. There's with Indestructible and an extra food token. There's nothing we can do about it there. We'd love for them to swing in. Yeah, I think we just need to get as much stuff off the board as possible. So that dies. We get to hit in for 5. We get to redraw. We do have some good things happening here. At least they're not the worst. But yeah, pretty sure it's most likely ever, especially with Kogla being able to just fight anything once it enters the battlefield. Even if we have Embercleave, I guess we can keep this alive. Pass to my turn. Ooh. All right, Timber calls the dead first. Ox of Agonis, draw, play out Giant Killer. Get rid of enchantments with this. Ox of Agonis. Get rid of lands with this. And I guess Embercleave. Redraw. They keep gaining so much life and gain 5 life on the next turn. Giant Killer, probably our best chance at like winning. So we're going to go and get Giant Killer out now. Another Season Hollow Blade would be nice, but yeah, we'll see. We're going to have to discard something, and I'd rather hold on to Bone Crusher Giant. Down to 10, pass the turn. Because I'm assuming Kugla comes down, fight Season Hollow Blade. I think we still win with an Embercleave. So let's see how greedy they get. Okay, Kogla gets to draw a card. If they don't hold enough mana to gain more life with everything else, then we have a shot. All right, so fights the Ox. Cool. Do they swing in with Wicked Wolf? Feasting Troll King. I wouldn't mind a third red source. Have we missed those? Yeah, Feasting Troll. That's game. There's nothing we can find now that gets us past this. If we go on an extra turn, they just have enough mana that they start gaining life. We don't have enough blockers to deal with two guys like that. They start destroying our artifacts and enchantments with Kogla, and it's over. All right. Yeah, bummer. All right, so in the wrap up for this deck, I'm okay. I like this deck. I think there is a whole lot of power in it. The inconsistency is a really big issue, though. I feel like you have 3 different game plans that do mesh well together. That it's hard to know what things you're like, what version of it you're gonna draw. And so like there's some early game plays that you just have to pick right, and if you don't, then you miss it. There's a lot of just other really good decks out there. Like that's the other thing too. Like we were playing out, I think, okay for the most part. I definitely made some major misplays, but besides that, there's some of them were just like, okay, I'm going this route. Okay, that was the wrong route, but that's not necessarily a misplay. It's just like, okay, we drew differently than we were hoping for, or they ended up playing a different deck than we were expecting, and oh well, you know. And so that's, I think part of that just comes to knowing what else is out there a little bit more. But overall, I enjoyed the deck. If you guys enjoyed it as well, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Secret word for this one, for all the people that make it to the end of the video, you can put it down in the comments below and let me know that you guys made it to the end. It definitely helps me out a ton. Just kind of know that's there. And the secret for this one, I'm going to go ahead and be a little bit greedy. Subscribe to Jeff because he's cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate it if you do that. Okay, bye.